Today, let's delve into a book by Dorshi Rinpoche titled Interpreting the Principles and Mysteries of the Three Jewels. I will select some paragraphs from this book and share with you. Dorshi Rinpoche is a revered master in the Gelug tradition. He is fluent in Chinese. He is recognized as the 6th reincarnate Lama of Tiantang Monastery, a professor in Tibetan language and literature at Northwest University for Nationalities, and a researcher at the Advanced Academy of Tibetan Buddhism of China. He is acknowledged by the state as a spiritual practitioner. Since he follows the Gelug tradition, his book contains pictures of Lama Atisha and Lama Tsongkhapa. Here, I will expound on some of his important teachings, which I find very meaningful. In the Ornament of Clear Realization, the Treatise on the Buddha Nature, and the Ornament of the Mahayana Sutras, Maitreya expounded, sentient beings inherently possess a luminous mind, which is the seed of Buddha nature. To arise and awaken from a latent state, it requires appropriate conditions, just like a plant seed deeply buried underground requires certain humidity and temperature to sprout. The 4 conditions for the seed of Buddha nature to awaken and sprout. There are 4 primary conditions for the seed of Buddha nature to awaken and sprout. Sentient beings inherently possess a luminous mind. So, how can we make the seed of Buddha nature sprout? The first condition is to have a Dharma environment. Without the Dharma, without the opportunity to hear and learn the Dharma teachings, the seed of Buddha nature won't sprout. The second condition is to have a Mahayana teacher who can guide us on the right path. Without a qualified teacher who possesses Dharma knowledge and virtues, it's impossible to receive the Buddha's teachings. In this sense, the Guru's kindness is even greater than the Buddha's. In the great treatise on the stages of the path to enlightenment, Lama Tsongkhapa emphasized the importance of following a spiritual teacher as the foundation of attaining enlightenment. This is very important. Compared to the exoteric school, the esoteric school emphasizes more on the guidance and lineage transmission from the Guru. The Guru is seen as the representative of the 3 jewels, which can be seen, heard, and felt in this world. Therefore, the first refuge is taking refuge in the Guru. Some secular scholars who study Tibetan Buddhism don't understand the principle of the Guru is the 3 jewels, and claim that there are 4 jewels in Tibetan Buddhism. This is ridiculous. The Guru represents the 3 jewels. It's stated here, the representation of the 3 jewels which can be seen, heard, and felt in this world is the Guru. When you say taking refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, where does this manifest? They are all abstract concepts. What is Sangha? Sangha is a community. after joining the Sangha, you still need to follow a specific teacher. It's just like joining the Communist Party. After joining, you still need to find a specific contact person, such as a party representative and branch secretary. A specific contact person is essential. Therefore, when we take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, the representative of these three jewels is the Guru. If you can't find a representative, whom are you taking refuge in? Taking refuge in abstract concepts doesn't work. The third condition is to have a positive aspiration. Without a positive aspiration, even if one is immersed in the Dharma, one will not become wise and virtuous. It's just like a stone which won't become moist and soft even after being immersed in water for thousands of years. Therefore, this internal factor is crucial. The fourth condition is to have a field that nourishes the sprouting and growth of the seed of Buddha nature. The field refers to accumulating merit and engaging in positive actions. It is the fertilizer for the seed of Buddha nature to sprout and grow. Without this nourishing fertilizer, the sprout of Buddha nature will be like a malnourished baby whose physical and intellectual development is severely affected and will become intellectually disabled or physically handicapped due to innate or acquired deficiencies. Nowadays, many people learn Buddhism, but few people emphasize accumulating merit. This is also one of the main reasons why their Dharma practice may not be successful. In the above four essential conditions for the seed of Buddha nature to sprout and grow, the first condition, a Dharma environment, is a result of one's accumulations from past lives. It means being born in a place where the Dharma is available, having parents who believe in Buddhism, or encountering the Dharma from an early age, surrounded by the Buddha's teachings. If you are born in some parts of Africa, you may not be able to access the Dharma. The other three conditions, following a spiritual teacher, generating positive aspirations, and engaging in positive actions, are all encompassed in the practices of taking refuge and generating bodhicitta. Therefore, the Treatise on the Buddha nature states, taking refuge in the three jewels is the primary condition for the seed of Buddha nature to sprout. Nowadays, many people take refuge superficially, without truly understanding what are the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Before taking refuge, it's essential to have a clear understanding of the three jewels. For example, before joining the Communist Party, you need to understand its constitution and all of its meanings and goals. After joining, you certainly need to be willing to sacrifice everything for it. If you don't understand these things, how could you join? Similarly, to take refuge in the three jewels and join a Buddhist community, you need to thoroughly understand the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Only then will you be willing to take refuge. Therefore, it's not easy to take refuge. You should completely believe in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha without any doubt before taking refuge. Otherwise, if you regret or doubt after taking refuge, thinking that the 3 jewels are false or considering any of them as illusory, you break the refuge vow. Some people break their refuge vows. Therefore, it's best to have a clear understanding before taking refuge. It's not easy to take refuge. To join this community, you need to thoroughly understand it. Some heretics also talk about enlightenment, using the same term enlightenment as in Buddhism, but the meaning is different. Their enlightenment doesn't require studying the Dharma, observing the precepts, or accumulating merit through virtuous actions. They believe that by simply following a single word from a so-called enlightened master, they can instantly reach the other shore. However, this is impossible. Simply talking about the Dharma is useless. Some people believe a single word from a wacky monk can surpass the teachings on wisdom. This problem is quite serious in China. In fact, since the time of the 6th Patriarch Huineng, many people who study the Chan tradition have gone astray. Why? Because they believe that since Master Huineng was illiterate, he didn't understand the Dharma. Therefore, ever since then, they have advocated that it's not necessary to understand Dharma teachings. Of course, this belief is only held by a small group of people. They believe that even if one doesn't understand the Buddha's teachings, one can still attain enlightenment. Such people will run into severe problems. In Chinese history, there have been a few illiterate individuals who attained enlightenment, especially the 6th Patriarch, who has been very influential in China. Some people believe even if one is illiterate, one can still attain enlightenment. For example, the 6th Patriarch not only attained enlightenment, but also became a revered master. Therefore, there is no need to study the Buddha's teachings. However, this is a serious misunderstanding. Since Bodhidharma brought the Lakavattara Sutra to China, it has been widely propagated. Actually, you can take a look at the life of the 6th Patriarch. Before he went to Huangmei to seek the Dharma, he stayed in a monastery for a while and listened to many Dharma teachings, although he was illiterate. During Shakyamuni Buddha's time, many of his disciples were illiterate. However, they had listened to the Buddha's teachings and attained enlightenment. The essence of Dharma teachings lies not in the written words, but in the understanding of their underlying principles. Even if you are illiterate, you can still understand the teachings. This is akin to some musicians who, despite not able to read sheet music, can still sing well. I heard that Luciano Pavarotti couldn't read sheet music, but he was the best singer. Although he couldn't read sheet music, it doesn't mean he didn't understand music. He did understand music. Not being able to read sheet music doesn't mean not understanding music. Likewise, not being able to read characters doesn't mean not understanding the teachings on wisdom. Illiterate individuals can still understand the teachings. This is akin to the fact that I can understand what you're saying through listening. During the Buddha's time, there was no standardized set of characters, and many people were illiterate. However, they could understand the Buddha's teachings. The sixth patriarch must have understood the Dharma too. You can read the Platform Sutra. If he didn't understand the Dharma, how could he expound such profound teachings? That would be impossible. He also understood the Dharma. Not to mention other masters, just look at our three patriarchs of the mind and mind practice, Master Dayu, Master Wang Xianglu, and Guru Yanyin. They all had a deep understanding of the Dharma. Who among them didn't thoroughly understand the Dharma? Some people who don't understand the Dharma believe that simply practicing meditation while forming a mudra will lead to enlightenment. This is ridiculous. If you practice the mind and mind teachings like this, others will not regard you as problematic. Instead, they will regard your teacher as problematic. They might question, "Who is your teacher? How could he teach his students in such a manner?" They will not laugh at you, but rather at your teacher, saying, "What kind of teacher is this? This is completely irresponsible." This problem is very serious, and I have been emphasizing it repeatedly. I hope that such individuals can hear these words and that such situations can improve. Many of those who engage in the mind and mind practice don't understand the teachings, but simply engage in sitting sessions. They discuss enlightenment right from the beginning, such as how to achieve it. This behavior is very naive, indicating that they don't understand the teachings. If they truly understood, they wouldn't teach others in this way. Do you think that just because you understand the teachings, your students don't need to understand them? Some people may appear to not understand some teachings, but in reality, that's not the case. People with deep roots of virtue from past lives, upon hearing a single teaching, can comprehend all the teachings. There are indeed individuals with deep roots of virtue, such as the sixth patriarch. However, he did understand the Dharma. Although he didn't learn many teachings, it doesn't mean he didn't understand them. He had a deep understanding of the teachings. Is there any Buddhist scripture that he didn't understand? There was none. As long as you read a scripture to him, he could expound it to you. Being illiterate was not an obstacle for him. If you didn't understand something, he could explain it to you. That was the case of the sixth patriarch.